Hello, my name is Jay, and I am the president of the Yale Drama Coalition. This is a video that we wanted to make just to provide a little bit of context and background on how theater at Yale works, because it can be kind of overwhelming when you get here. But the big thing is that we're really excited for you guys to come and to be a part of Yale Theater. Every new class of people makes theater so much more interesting and fun. So I'll try to be as fast and succinct as I can. So how does theater work at Yale? First thing is, what is the YDC? What organization am I representing? The YDC is an umbrella organization that oversees undergraduate theater at Yale. We try to make sure that theater is fair and accessible, that anyone who wants to do theater at Yale can do theater at Yale in a healthy and fulfilling way. We run casting cycles, and like I said, we're an umbrella organization. So we just sort of oversee theater organizations and different kinds of shows. The YDC is made up of all these really cool people. The most important person for you to know is Cal Barton. You'll hear from Cal Barton at some point in the fall. He is your first year liaison, so he is your first point of contact if you have any questions about how theater at Yale works. He's a really cool person. Okay, so how is theater at Yale organized? So under the umbrella of the YDC, there are different shows that happen at Yale. There are 4 main types of shows, and I'm going to talk about them in descending order of how sort of big of a commitment they are. It's important to sort of understand the different types of shows that happen. So first, we have, this is the Yale Dramatic Association. You might have heard of them, or they're also called the Dramat more commonly. So they're Dramat shows. I think it's 6 shows a year, like the Fall Main Stage, the Fall and Spring X, Commencement Musical, Fro Show, which you'll hear more about later. These are really high production value, really cool shows and really cool theaters, but they are a very, very high level of commitment. So it's just something to keep in mind, but the Dramat does incredible stuff. There's really, really high commitment shows. The next level would be senior thesis. Sort of they are shows that happen within the theater department. When you're a senior, if you're a theater major, I'm not a theater major. I'd say a majority of people at Yale who do theater are not theater majors. But if you are a theater major and you're a senior, then you will put on a senior thesis show, perhaps with somebody else. Maybe a director and a writer will work together, or a director and a producer. And these shows are like other kinds of shows, but because they have, they're part of someone's final senior project, they are a bit of a commitment, but they are some incredible original work. I've been in one that was absolutely an incredible experience. So that's one type of show. The next category is by far the largest. So these are called CPA shows. They're named after CPA grants, or Creative and Performing Arts grants, which is, if you want to put on a show at Yale, you just go to your head of college and say, I want to put on a show, and they'll give you a CPA grant, which is money and a theater, basically. And so that's how most shows at Yale happen, which is that people get together with their friends and decide they want to put on a show, and they put on a CPA show in one of the college theaters. So that's a CPA show. That's the majority of shows that happen at Yale, and that's the majority of shows that you'll hear about. And then we have something called Yale Theater Camp, which again, you'll hear about more in the fall, but this is like the lowest level of commitment possible. They are basically stage readings, no memorization required, basically a week to 2 weeks of rehearsal, max 10 hours of rehearsal over 2 weeks, usually more like 7 over 1 week or 5 over 1 week. And you put on, you sort of do a stage reading of an original Yale playwright's work. So if you're a playwright and you're interested, or if you're somebody who wants to get involved with theater but not all the way right away, that's sort of what camp is for. Okay, so then these are just some of the theater groups at Yale. I won't go into all of these, but they're all doing incredible stuff. How do I get involved with theater at Yale? So the basic way to get involved with theater at Yale is you make a YCA page, and I'll show you how to do that. If you're a prod team, if you want to work on a prod team, and you can do both, but if you want to work on a prod team for a show, you just kind of go to the YCA page for that show, find the contact, email them and say, I want to work on your show. And everybody wants people to work on their show, and everyone needs as much help as they can get. So that's the best way to get involved. But there are also some opportunities listed on YCA. If you're an actor, you sign up for auditions through YCA. So I'm going to just quickly show you how YCA works. Basically, this is the Yale College Arts website. You will go, you just look up Yale College Arts, then you can go to events and shows and screenings. And these are all the shows. You can even filter it by theater if you want. These are all the shows that are happening coming up, and more will pop up and get their posters and stuff. This is the past semester, and so that's sort of how it looks. And if you want to learn more about a show, you can sort of go into the page. Let's go into Gypsy, and here you'll find the production team, and you'll find the performance dates, and you'll find a little information about the show. You'll find the contact for the show, and that is sort of basically how YCA works as a way of looking for what shows are happening. But if you want to sign up for auditions, you have to log in up here. You just put in your Yale login, and it will help you basically. It'll just quickly make a page for you. You don't have to stress out about making a bio or a picture. I think my bio is one sentence. I don't even know if it's a sentence. It's like 6 or 7 words. So don't worry about that too much. Just making an account allows you to see when auditions open up on that page. Okay, great. So that's it. That's the basic way of getting involved in theater at Yale. We have some other resources that I'll put up on the screen. The big one I want to point your attention to is the Yale Theater Wiki, which is on our website, and we'll also push it out to you as much as we can, but it's a huge document that was put together by theater makers at Yale, how to act at Yale, how to produce at Yale, how to be a dramaturg at Yale, how to be, how to produce, how to direct, how to stage manage. And so that's what the Yale Theater Wiki is for, and it is a resource that anybody can use and add to. So please use that if you have any questions, and that will be helpful. So what experience do you need to get involved with theater at Yale? None at all. You really don't. You can come in at any experience level. Yale Theater will be happy to have you. There are always so many shows happening at Yale that I think everybody basically wants as many people as they can get their hands on to help them make the art they want to make. You don't have to be a theater major. You do not have to be a theater major. I'm not a theater major. The theater major at Yale is incredible, but I think the way it was put to me when I was a pre-frosh and I asked this question is if all the non-theater majors at Yale stopped doing theater, there wouldn't be any more theater. So you can absolutely go about your theater at Yale journey however you want to do that. Quickly, I want to go over sort of the schedule for your first few weeks at Yale in terms of theater. We have casting cycles that the YDC runs. They're basically periods of auditions ending in a casting day. The September casting cycle begins with season preview, which is an event where all the shows teams come together and pitch their shows to the community, and we sort of give a little talk about how theater at Yale works as well. So the way it'll work this year is you'll have your first year moving on the 21st, then you'll have orientation for 2 days, then you'll have mid-orientation. I'm a foot leader, so I will be out there in the woods with at least 6 of you. Well, maybe not you, but 6 first years. And then you'll have a few more days of orientation, then your classes begin on the 31st. The season preview will be on the 28th. The time of that is going to be announced later, but that's when season preview is happening. So you come and you can, sort of hear about how theater at Yale works. First years will all be on campus. Other people, if you're not on campus yet, will have a Zoom option for that as well. But I would encourage anyone who can to come in person. Then we'll have auditions from the 29th to the 7th. That includes callbacks. If you get a callback, you might get callback in that time period. But auditions have to stop on the 7th. And then on the 11th, we have casting day. On casting day, all the teams get together into one building and start calling actors and offering them roles. It's very exciting. You'll learn more about that later as well. But this is just sort of a way of looking at it. If this is helpful to you, just be aware that season preview is on the 28th. And that's when you'll begin signing up for auditions, and auditions will last through that first sort of period of time. This is another way of looking at it. We've been working this year with the people who run a cappella at Yale, so the SGC, to make sure that our auditions and a cappella auditions don't overlap. There are people who audition for both. I did that my first year, and so we want to make sure that we're not, we're being sort of thoughtful about those people and not overloading them. So that is sort of another way of looking at it. This is also on our website, this graphic. But this also sort of shows you how classes starting an ad drop period works into this, as well as a cappella jams, if that applies to you. These are other tentative dates for casting cycles. Basically, the point of this slide is just to tell you that if you don't if you can't audition in September, if you're too overwhelmed or too busy, or if you don't get a role or something, if you don't get the job you want to get, there are so many opportunities to get involved, and you will have so many chances to get involved. And so don't stress out about it. It's not worth your stress at all. I can't emphasize that enough. Everybody comes to Yale Theater at their own time, and it makes no difference. So please just keep in mind there are all these other opportunities to get involved with theater at Yale. All right, that's it. We just want to welcome you. We are so excited that you're here. I personally am it is my mission, and it is the mission of the YDC to make sure that this transition is as smooth as possible, because we are so excited to welcome you to theater at Yale. So thank you so much for your time. I'm sorry if this was a little YouTubery, but smash that like button into oblivion, and take care. And I can't wait to see you in the fall. And yeah, take care. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.